Lay down the song you strum and rest yourself neath the strength of strain. No voice can hope to hum. The last of leaves fell from the tree and clung to a new love's breast. The branches bare like a banjo moan to the winds that listen the best. Lay down the song you strum and rest yourself neath the strength of strain. No voice can hope to hum. I gaze down in the river's mirror and watched its winding strum. The water smooth and like a hymn, and like a harp did hum. Lay down your weary tune, lay down the song you strum and rest yourself neath the strength of strain. No voice can hope to hum.
Good morning, everybody. Abraham is going to do a prayer now. You might want to prepare yourself.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Dear God, as we walk through this world following our own individual paths, in this time of trouble and uncertainty, where even our lives may be at risk as we go about our daily mundane activities, we remind ourselves that you are always with us. Help us to realize that you are never far from us, as close as our right hand, teaching us, leading us, guiding us daily, as we allow ourselves to turn from our preset ideas and follow the intuitive guidance you always provide for us. Strengthen us and embolden us to act courageously, to preserve the health and well-being of ourselves, our loved ones, and our neighbors in need. O Most High God, give us the wisdom to use this time of sheltering in the storm, of possible separation from friends and loved ones, constructively. Help us to use this time to rebuild the citadel of our faith, to strengthen our souls through prayer, meditation, and purposeful introspection. Help us, O Infinite Spirit, to use this time wisely, to do meaningful work that we may have long put aside, to further our lives and to prepare for the life that awaits us when the present challenges have been met and overcome. Let us conclude with the words of this Sanskrit proverb, look well to this day. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the realities and the verities of existence, the bliss of growth, the splendor of action, the glory of power. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Amen.
This is a song that I learned when I was a child, growing up in the midst of challenging circumstances. And I forgot it for years, and then I remembered it one day, and I've been singing it a cappella ever since because I've never found the music for it. It's called High Upon a Mountain. High upon a mountain, I go alone to pray. Oh, nature sings inside my soul, and all my burdens fall away. High upon a mountain, I have a secret shrine. Oh, nature sings inside my heart. Peace and happiness are mine. I don't follow a winding highway, and it's not on any map I've ever known, but in my heart there's a secret skyway that leads to a place all my own. High above the stormy clouds, I have a secret shrine. Oh, nature sings inside my heart. There I'll always know that peace and happiness are mine. I don't follow a winding highway, and it's not on any map I've ever known, but in my heart there's a secret skyway that leads to a place all my own. High above the stormy clouds, I have a secret shrine. Oh, nature sings inside my soul. There I'll always know that peace and happiness are mine. There I'll always know that peace and happiness are mine. Peace. Peace in the eye of the storm. Have you ever found yourself on a dark, clear night, staring into a black sky sprinkled with millions of stars? Far, far removed from the glow of homes or street lamps or tall buildings with light streaming through windows. For as long as you stand there, observing and taking it all in, absorbing the quiet and the dark, the lights and the stillness and the space, you are in church, surrounded by a mobile citadel. You are in a synagogue, surrounded in a mobile citadel. As written in the Course in Miracles, I will behold myself where I perceive my strength, and think I live within the citadel where I am safe and cannot be attacked. I live in the citadel of God. These are the times that try men's souls. Thomas Paine, 1776, written in the midst of the birth of this nation. Now, during this pandemic and all of its ramifications, is a good time to perfect the ability to create and to keep the citadel of God within you. As it further mentions in the Course of Miracles, in the citadel of God, there is everlasting peace. And only there will I remember who I really am. A citadel has been defined as a fortress. Within the fortress of God, I know who and what I am. I am safe. I am secure. I am everlasting. And I am at peace. I am peace. In these days when we appear to be surrounded and immersed in the sights and sounds of COVID-19, racial unrest, millions unemployed, food lines, fires raging out of control, the list goes on and on. How do we create peace? How do we maintain tranquility and know that God is in her heaven and that all is well? The thing is, if we are thinking these thoughts right now, we are at peace. We are well. We are good. Someone said to me once that if you wake up in the morning, you've been saved. That's salvation. If your systems work relatively correctly, you have been saved. Eckhart Tolle put it another way. When the eye finds nothing to see, that know-nothingness is perceived as space. When the ear finds nothing to hear, that no-thingness is perceived as stillness. And when the senses, designed to perceive form, experience no form, the absence of form, that no-formness is pure consciousness, is pure being, is total peace. Now, when you contemplate the unfathomable depth of space or listen to the silence in the early hours before the sunrise, something in you resonates as if in recognition. You then sense the vast depth of space as your own depth. And you know that precious stillness that has no form, to be more deeply who you are than any of the things that make up the content of your life. And that place of stillness is the place from which we can experience the peace of God. The know-nothingness is the essence of who and what we are. We are being. We are not the skin that encapsulates these bones, these blood vessels, our hearts. We are not the thoughts which we even now in this moment are thinking. The thoughts running through our brains. We are not the things we want or the things we don't want. We are not the things we have or the things we don't have. The recognition of who and what we really are is the access of an eternal, profound, and all-encompassing place of quiet and rest. And we must form our own personal and unique citadels, our own fortresses of peace. Perhaps there's something you enjoy doing. Perhaps it's walking. Perhaps it's running. Perhaps it's swimming. Perhaps it's yoga. Perhaps it's just being still. In the movie Eat, Pray, Love, it was sitting in a garden alone, conscious, but not dwelling on anything there. I experience that when I am floating in the water, after swimming, and after maybe, an hour in the hot tub, or the sauna. Yeah, one of those things. And letting go in the water, I'm totally weightless and rocked by the gentle, gentle waves. I am no longer a body. I am no longer a mind. I am no longer what I haven't done, what I have to do, what I should do, what I shouldn't have done, definitely. I am simply alive and vibrating and still and at peace. There is a for lease sign on my fitness center. It is not in operation. So I have found another way to float, because float we must on some level, in some way. So make a space for peace, for prayer, for meditation. Set a day or a time of no thingness to fill your mind and permeate your body. Make it any day you choose. Make it at a moment's notice. Think about taking time on a Tuesday for an hour, or even 15 minutes. You know that circle that goes around on TV now? It's 15 seconds. Do you know some of us don't even take 15 seconds to stop the mind and relax the body? The thing is, making the Holy Spirit visible by manifesting her within ourselves is a way of loving ourselves and honoring our Creator. So it's very important that we actually consciously take time to do this, because otherwise you're constantly living in a storm, in a state, in a storm. A storm is the opposite of a peaceful state. So storms come in many forms. They come in the form of everyday challenges with people and or circumstances. They come from being a little bit too connected to CNN or MSNBC or Fox and to their specialty. Their specialty is to titillate their audiences. Storms come also from being a little too connected to the opinions of others. Opinions that, for example, 49% of the world is evil and 51% is good. But consider that for just a moment. There would be no order under those circumstances. No order. Humans would have ceased to exist thousands of years ago. But we humans, we like to entertain. We like to be the commentators. We are constantly in an attempt to get our media share, boost our ratings, whether it be the storms of digital images or sounds generated from television screens or those generated by sound waves through our smartphones. I say introduce them all to Mrs. Click. Let Facebook, Twitter, Instagram survive without you for a bit. Hang up. Hang up. Perhaps in this proposed orchestrated resting in our citadel, we can access peace through remembering the miracle of our lives. As I said earlier, that we are alive at all is a miracle. But to also contemplate that instant, even if it was singular, when the power and glory and beauty of being totally alive was present. Can any of you remember a time, a moment like that, when you really felt alive, when you felt beautiful, when you felt happy, energized? The truth is, whenever I look at Abraham and realize that we are approaching 36 happy years together, I experience life as a miracle. I experience the power and beauty and the divine order of God. The Jewish holiday Yom Kippur will begin in less than a month. For Jews, the holiest day of the year, when we are closest to God and to the essence of our very souls. Yom Kippur means Day of Atonement. It is the traditional Jewish belief that on this day God will forgive you. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, one of the leading Jewish theologians and Jewish philosophers of the 20th century, had this to say in one of his essays called Lifting the Veil. God is not always silent, and we are not always blind. In everyone's life, there are moments when there is a lifting of the veil at the horizon of the known, opening a slight sight into the eternal. Each of us has at least once in his or her life experienced the momentous reality of God. Each of us has once caught a glimpse of the beauty, the peace, and the power that flow through the souls of those who are connected to God. But such experiences are rare events. To some people, they are like shooting stars, passing and unremembered. In others, they kindle a light that is never quenched. The remembrance of that experience and the loyalty to the response of that moment are the forces that sustain our faith. Our faith is tested all the time. It's tested. And there are those moments when the perfect answer, the perfect response, the perfect person, the perfect whatever, is there in front of you. And that creates, builds, multiplies our faith. The remembrance of that one experience and the loyalty to our response to that experience creates and maintains and sustains our peace. You may be experiencing the current challenges of COVID-19 in some way raging in your life like a storm. But at the center of a fierce tropical storm, a hurricane, there is a small area where the weather is calm, the sky is clear, and most times blue, and the winds are like light breezes. This is the eye of the hurricane. The trick is to get to the place of peace, to the eye of the storm, to the citadel, the place of quiet. Generally, I'm a happy person. But things happen, and I'm not happy. I grew up in an unhappy home, and I knew two things by the time I was 6 years old. One, you had to have money. And the other, what money couldn't fix, you had to have a law for. A law. Somebody had to make a law to fix it. So I have spent my life chasing money and trying to change laws, which has left me, I would say, on the roller coaster of peace. A roller coaster, because there is never enough money and there are never enough laws. In order to once again establish the citadel of peace, I revert to Mrs. Click. I hang up the phone. I watch a romantic comedy. I find that I like the international varieties these days because the American varieties tend to look at the problems, the same problems I'm already looking at. So I like the international versions. I retreat to my rocking chair and rock and rock and rock. And I tell myself, peace, be still. There was a story once about a woman. She was meeting with therapists to help her transition into death. And she woke up one day and her therapist was there, and she was very upset because her ring was missing. It was a ring that was given to her by her mother. And the therapist said, you know, pretty soon you won't be able, she couldn't wear the ring because her illness made her hands too big. Her therapist said, you know, pretty soon you won't be around for that ring. Do you want to spend your last days worrying about that ring? And And she went to that quiet place, and she decided no. She did not want to spend her last days worrying about that ring. The ring showed up. I mean, not that it matters, but it did show up. You may tell yourself, peace is all I want, until a tire goes flat, until the stock market crashes, until the trip gets canceled. Peace is all I want until a single person kills 59 people and injures another 600. Peace is all I want until I see someone not wearing a mask. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I can't tell you how many people I wanted to go up and just smack them. I know. Peace lies in the ability to embrace every moment, irrespective of our opinion. To be with that moment, in that moment, absolutely alert, non-judgmental, and knowing that your very soul knows that this will pass. This will pass. Everything in life is stressful. Weddings are stressful. Graduations are stressful. Births are stressful. Money is stressful. In his book, New Earth, Eckhart Tolle writes, make friends with the present moment, whether it be good or bad or indifferent. That the most fleeting thing in life is what happens moment to moment. And if we can somehow accept that moment to moment as it occurs and not get stuck in it, not get caught up in it and dragged down by it, we can discover the joy of being. We can discover the peace of God. I invite you to explore the storms that set you adrift. I invite you to spontaneously, in a moment, create that mobile citadel of God, that fortress of peace, ready to cover and protect you, ready to provide a space to rest and relax and feel safe and loved. And from that citadel, you can stand in the midst of a tempest and quietly say to your soul, to your heart, to your mind, peace, be still. Be still and know that I am God. And so it is. Amen. This next song is based on the 23rd Psalm. And we didn't write the song, obviously. We wrote the music.
We're going to sing it in Hebrew and English.
It's called the Shafti.
And I will dwell.